Good morning, everybody. Aaron Nagler here, Cheesehead TV, coming to you live with your Packers Daily Chat on the Cheesehead TV social channels. The Packers will not be practicing today. We did hear from Matt LaFleur late in the afternoon yesterday. Packers will be back on the practice field on Wednesday. So for now, it's just you and I, Packers fans, ruminating on what is to come Sunday afternoon in the NFC Championship game at Lambeau Field between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and your Green Bay Packers. Good to see everybody in the comments section. Good morning. Lots of regulars here. Brandy, hello. See you mixing it up. Robin's here, of course. Robin's stalwart here. Robin, the Muppets. That's right, the Muppet Show. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and shill for Disney, but I am going to tell you that the original Muppet Show, of which 5 seasons will be available on Disney Plus come February, is genius television. It is absolute genius. And I do not use that word lightly. If you're not familiar, if you didn't grow up with it, I highly recommend sitting down. And you don't need kids to enjoy it. Just sit down in February when it comes and watch it because it's brilliant. Daniel, Nags, I watched that LaFleur presser. How in the world are some reporters more worried about Saleh than anything else? Oh, Daniel, because you got to remember people covering not only the Packers, but the NFL are on that call. And there's other stuff to talk about and other news. And people from other markets request access or credentials so they can ask those questions. You know, if you're writing a story on Saleh being hired here in New York for the Jets job, and you're a reporter with the Daily News or the New York Post or whatever New York outlet you work for, you call up the Packers and you say, yeah, I'd like to be on that presser today so I can ask about his good friend Saleh. It makes a world of sense. It makes all the sense in the world. Not everything is about the Green Bay Packers as much as it is here on Cheesehead TV in the world of the NFL. There's other stuff going on. So excited for Aaron Rodgers Tuesday on Pat's show today. Absolutely. Amar, thank you for the super chat. GM, bro, good morning. Let's get hype. If Dylan can't go, bring in Ingram. No, they're not going to bring in somebody off the street. If anything, they'd elevate Dexter Williams again. But I think early indications, reading between the lines from what do you call it? LaFleur was talking about yesterday. I tend to think he's going to be all right, and they expect him to be out there on Wednesday afternoon. But we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Tremont for depth and leadership. They can't sign Tremont. Everyone who was on my Twitter feed last night, I was joking when I said sign Tremont because he won't play 7 yards off on 3rd and 3. Way too many people ran with that. But yeah, no, that isn't going to happen. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. Nags, Packers winning by 10 plus on Sunday. Market 0. I love it, Dustin. I'm all in. Deshaun Perry, what's up, man? What can Green Bay do to stop the Tampa offense? That to me is kind of the story here in this game. And I know there's been a lot of talk already about the Packers offense and how it really kind of fell apart and what happened, blah, 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 back in week 6 down in Tampa. Going back and watching that game, I am really of the burn the tape mind when you watch it because, I mean, they got so out of their rhythm as that game went on. Aaron Rodgers legit threw passes to Malik Taylor and Darius Shepard at points in that game. Actually, Darius Shepard probably has his best play from scrimmage as a Packer in that game. But it's a very different kind of team that we saw there in week 6. And that extends to the defensive side of the ball. I will say, I thought Josh Jackson played overall a pretty damn good game. He does allow the touchdown to Tyler Johnson, but for the most part, down in and down out, he played a really good game in place of Kevin King. I just thought Tom Brady was one step ahead all afternoon long, especially once they got a lead. To me, like I said at the start here, that's the big key to this game is being able to do something to slow down Brady and company because, you know, Brady's had his way with Pettin more often than not in recent years. You go back to time, you know, Pettin's time with the Jets, he actually has some really good games against Brady. But since that time, Brady's had the upper hand. So I do think it's going to be interesting how they line up, what their personnel usage is like, especially up front to try and slow down that running game. The Bucs have really leaned into that two-headed monster in the backfield when it comes to Fournette and Jones. That's going to be the MO for the Green Bay Packers defense. There's no question, much like it was against the Titans, much like it was against the Bears. They have got to slow that running game down. And hell, that's kind of what the MO was against the Rams as well. So that has been the formula. The problem is Tannehill, Trubisky, and Goff are not Brady. Brady sees whatever pre-snap look. Okay, well, I know the run's going to be running into a brick wall here. I'm going to adjust the protection. I'm going to do some route adjustments. And I'm going to take advantage of what you're showing me. That happened quite a bit back in week 6, and that has to get fixed. They have to have some kind of counter for what's surely coming when it comes to Brady getting to the line of scrimmage and seeing whatever looks they're in. To me, that more than anything will go a long way to deciding how this game turns out. Good morning, Nags. What Tampa Bay receiver do you think is going to give the Packers the biggest challenge? Whoever matches up against the third receiver outside of whom Ja and King guard? It's never that simple, Jim. You know that. I mean, yes, there will be times when you'll have, say, Antonio Brown and Godwin on the outside, and those try and get an advantageous matchup in the slot. But and also it should be noted that Antonio Brown is dealing with some kind of injury. I saw a report yesterday. Nothing's finalized or official yet, though. But yeah, I think they've got to play dial-up coverage more than anything else. It's never going to be the straight-up man down in and down out. Tyler Johnson had a really nice play against the Saints in that divisional game, and he had a pretty nice game against the Packers last time around. He's somebody who I would think is probably off most people's radar, who could maybe match up third, fourth corner, what have you, maybe get on a linebacker and cause some problems for the Bucs. John, thanks for the super chat. I have some Tempur-Pedic pillows for Mike Pettine's soft coverage. That being said, Green Bay wins 35-24. Bears still and forever will suck. Can't argue with anything there, John. I like it. I'm all in. Salute, fellow cheeseheads. What's up, man? Did they not let you ask a question to 12 after the game? I mean, I didn't get a chance to get a question in. No, I had my hand raised. I didn't get called on. I got called on for everybody else. I made a joke about it, and then Packers PR accused me of being sensitive when they were the ones really being sensitive, but it was fine. I'm totally kidding. I'm just busting balls when I say that. For those of you who missed it after the game, I did not get a question for Rodgers. I didn't get called on, so I clipped a video of my extra cheese chat and said, Aaron, it's clear you're telling Packers PR not to call on me. I'm joking. Man, people on the internet. I'm not saying that you are, but people on the internet are so serious. Nuclear Family, thank you for the super chat. It needs to be said, Jair greater than Ramsey. I love him. I agree. Said it all week. I'll say it all off season. Totally agree. Brendan, thanks for the super chat. Few questions. What advantages do the Packers have outside of Lambo? Any concerns? And do the Pack match up well? And my early prediction. I'll give you my prediction on game day like I always do right before we get to the predictions video and the pregame show. Advantages do they have? Their continuity on offense, their ability to utilize every single person of their personnel on offense that has been kind of cycled through this last month or so. I don't think there's any question. This is one of the tougher defenses they faced all year, and we saw how they took advantage of the Packers last time around. But this is a very different team operating at a very different level. This is a team that's going to commit to the run, if I had to guess, in a way it certainly did not last time around. There's a sequence after the Bucs go up 14-10 where Aaron Jones rips off like a 8-yard run or a 7-yard run, and they're like, all right, we're going to cook with gas. And then they go play action, and Rodgers takes a deep shot to MVS, and then and he misses it. And on third down, he gets sacked, and then they punt, and they're off the field. Those sequences are not going to be happening this time around, to my mind, my guess, and that's all it is guesswork. But I think this is a game where they are going to run for 6 yards on first down and then buckle up and get, 3 or 4 more hard yards on second down rather than looking for big time kill shots. That's the other thing that you see a lot of on that tape in week 6 is lots of long developing routes. And I know it's funny because I think most people just remember the pick 6, which is not really a quick out, but it's a out route right before the sticks. And then the slant play where ended up in an interception where the ball bounces in the air. So you think, these short intermediate routes, what have you. But you go back and you watch that game, the Packers were running lots of vertical stuff, lots of stuff down the field. And they were having trouble holding up front, even before Bakhtiari went out. So I think the game plan has to be a lot different this time around. And I do think it centers on the ground game. And I think they'll be able to move the ball. The Saints had success there. The Bucs ended the year as the number one run defense in the league by ranking. But you go back and you watch any one of their games this last kind of 4 or 5 game stretch of the season, and they have not been great against the run at all. Now, Devin White was on the COVID list for a couple of weeks. I understand that. But even before that, there were parts of the armor that were exposed, so to speak. I think they're going to run the ball, especially now if A.J. Dillon is going to be okay. They got that 3-headed monster in the backfield. Run that football. Keep ahead of the sticks. We heard Matt talk about it yesterday, and I think they'll do that. And then you flip it around. Look, Rashawn Gary's playing out of his mind. And Gary actually had a good game down in Tampa, and he's only gotten better. To me, I think they'll find a way to free him up, to get him singled up, because I think he can take advantage of either one of these tackles, and they're going to force Brady to get the ball out of his hands. Now, Brady is a great equalizer, but to me, that there's something that the Packers can cook with there. Those are just a few off the top of my head thoughts when it comes to the matchup. Cameron, thanks for the super chat. Went and rewatched a little of the last game. We looked good until the pick 6. I definitely feel a lot better about this game. Well, the problem, and Rodgers talked about it as after that game, was they moved the ball early, but a lot of it was off schedule. And some of that is Rodgers. You see him double clutch, I think, like 5 or 6 different plays where you see him kind of not trust what he's seeing. They got to get him playing in rhythm early in this one. And that's not just on Rodgers. Obviously, the Bucs defense was really good. There was issues and protections that Rodgers, escaped the pocket on and made off-schedule plays, kind of like we saw at the end of the McCarthy years. They can't play like that. And that's why, to me, they got to get this running game going. They got to get in a rhythm, get ahead of the sticks, and let Rodgers get some, none of them are easy throws, but some clear throws that he can, get into a rhythm early and start moving the football down the field without second-guessing himself. Justin, thanks for the super chat. Where can I find just that hype video you showed the other day? Oh, Justin, it's on our YouTube page. I'll try and find it. Hold on. I think I got it. Hold, please. Yeah, here it is. Oh, that's the Facebook one. Oh, there we go. I'll throw it up here in the comments. No. I don't know where it is. Oh, well, here we go. I'll throw this up there in the comments section for you. Looking forward to your podcast with PFF. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'll be on with Eric and George tomorrow at noon, a little bit after noon, I believe. It's gonna be a good time talking Packers Bucs with the guys from PFF. Always fun. Do you think we see more Z up the middle more because you can't let Brady step up? I don't know. Not a ton of it. I mean, I think they'll probably want to utilize him on the perimeter, on the edge. I think we'll see Kenny Clark have a much better game this time around, though. As far as Brady going, 1,000%. He has always been a different quarterback when he can't step up, when there's pressure in his face, quick pressure. The problem is everybody knows this. Like, that's not cracking some code there. Everybody is aware of that when it comes to Brady. The problem is actually making it happen. That's been the trick. Cameron, thanks for the super chat. Who also had Darius Shepard running routes in that game? We also had Cameron. I literally just mentioned that about 3 minutes ago. Welcome for joining the stream. Thank you. Dylan, thanks for the super chat. Who do you think is setting the tone personality-wise for the team this year? Felt like it was Z last year. Rodgers this year? Yeah, I think Rodgers definitely with his newfound Zen attitude. I think Devontae's swagger has certainly come to the fore. I'd also put Allen Lazard in that mix. He's been an interesting presence in the sense that, I think his top 2, not 2 saying has taken off within the team. I think Nathaniel Hackett's leadership has kind of permeated throughout the team with the gold zone stuff. You've really seen the offense take to that. I think those are just a few of the contenders there. William, thank you for the super chat. Do you think this is a legacy game for Rodgers? He's always said to get a NFC Championship here in Green Bay. Yeah, I mean, I don't really buy into most of that kind of thing, but this is a game where the narratives will be huge. regardless of the outcome, positive or negative. Something people will remember late in his career. Rodgers against the de facto, the supposed GOAT. Whatever happens in this game is going to be magnified and storyfied, so to speak, for years and years and years. So, yeah, I mean, you can tell you can say it's just another game. You can say, it's just one more game till the Super Bowl. You got to take it one game at a time, etc. But yeah, it's a monster game. It's a legacy game. And I think Rodgers will embrace that. You've heard him talk about his legacy before. You've heard him talk about, like you say, wanting to get that NFC Championship game at Lambeau. Well, here it is. You guys have really had some bad times on the road in these games. Well, now you got one at home. Got to make it happen. And the Packers, I mean, they've done what they can as far as in the middle of a fucking pandemic, waiting all year and then putting fans in the stands for the playoffs. There are few things left to excuse this team and destiny. Time to get to the Super Bowl. When we win, I don't know if I'd rather watch the Packers press conference or Tampa Bay's. Oh, you can always go back and watch Tampa Bay's. Watch the Packers. You know that. Come on, Joey. How will they block Kenny? Are the center guard combos pretty formidable? They're good, Pogs. They're very good. I thought they did a pretty damn good job against a really good front down in New Orleans. Like I said, I don't think Kenny had the best game last time around. I do think it's going to be interesting because I think the level of play around Kenny has improved, and that should help him. But yeah, it's a good group. It's a good group. Brendan, thank you for the super chat. Did Pettine save his job? If not, who would you like to see? Do we maybe switch to a 4-3? Oh, he's saved his job. Unless there's a total meltdown on Sunday, which I don't foresee happening, but you never know because Tom Brady's involved. Yeah, no, he's saved his job. But they're not going to fire. If they get to the Super Bowl, they're not going to fire him. Do we ever get any reasoning as to why Snacks didn't play much? We did not, Jamie. I didn't get a third question yesterday, unfortunately. Nathan, thanks for the super chat. Rep Sam Congato to the PFF people, please. Sam Congato once killed a man with his bare hands just to watch him die. This is something we always used to say on one of the chat rooms. And now it's Dr. Gatto, if you please. Bakhtiari Beer Chugs, thanks for the super chat. With him, their two-headed rushing attack in Tampa, can we please, for the love of everything holy, get Kenny and Snacks on the strong side, please? I'm with you, man. Smarter brains than mine have determined that Snacks is not necessary, apparently. And look, I had a lot of people in my mentions when I was kind of pontificating about the signing of Snacks and the fact that he played 11 snaps or whatever in Chicago and then only 3 against the Rams. And I was like, doesn't make any sense. I don't get it, blah, blah, blah. And I had a lot of people, and this makes sense to me. When you hear it, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Saying, well, the Rams were going hurry up and, they probably couldn't get him on. They probably were going up tempo, and that limited what the Packers could do substitution-wise. All right. That makes sense, right? You listen to it in your brain, and you're like, yep, makes perfect logical sense. Until you go and watch the game. And there are plenty of moments where guys are subbing in and out, along the defensive front even. And Snacks is not one of them. So, the Tyler Lancasters and Dean Lowrys of the world are clearly in favor over Damon Harrison, which I understand the sense that these are your guys. They've been playing better. You're trending in the right direction. You don't want to mess up the chemistry, if you will. I've also had people say, well, maybe Harrison just doesn't have it anymore. There's a reason Seahawks moved on from him. And, maybe he's just a name. And I would buy that as well until I turn on the tape down in Chicago. And he actually, for the very few snaps he got, played pretty damn well, especially considering he played on a number of those snaps across the line of scrimmage, resetting the line of scrimmage, something the Packers have really struggled to do. So, yeah, I'm just going to sit over here not understanding it and enjoying my coffee. Philip, thank you for the super chat. Go Pack, go. I'm with you, buddy. When we see more of A.J. Dillon next year, well, you saw some of it. You saw some more of him against the Rams. I mean, he got hurt. So we'll see starting tomorrow if he's out on the practice field, if he'll be available. But yeah, you won't see him as a featured back unless, somebody gets injured like happened against Tennessee. But then, yeah, next year, you'll probably see a lot more of him. Do I believe in bulletin board material? Mark, I thought LaFleur had a great response to that yesterday when Bill asked about Devin White's comments after the last game, where he literally said, we knew they didn't deserve to be on the field with us. Matt put it perfectly. Some guys are going to use that as motivation. To me, meaning Matt, doesn't mean a whole lot. They whooped up on us. They get to talk, essentially. But yeah, I think some guys use motivation. There's no doubt about it. I mean, hell, Aaron Rodgers is the king of taking every little slight and turning it into motivation. He's made a career out of it. He's got all sorts of Michael Jordan in him that way. So yeah, I would tend to think, and I will be surprised if Pat McAfee doesn't ask about it today, or if Rodgers doesn't get asked about it tomorrow. But yes, I certainly think some people believe in bulletin board material and some people draw inspiration from it. So we'll see. Let it snow. John, I hope so. There's a minimal chance of snow right now, and I'm praying that chance increases. I would love a snowy NFC Championship game. I'm all in on that. All right, guys. I'm going to have to get going. Can't thank you guys enough. Just a note on Cheesehead TV programming. Packer Transplants will be on Thursday evening, not tomorrow night. Thursday evening at 5 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube and Facebook. The Cheesehead TV Patreon happy hour is tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see all my fellow Patreon members there. We love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. If you're not on Patreon yet, please consider giving us $5 a month on Patreon, patreon.com/CheeseheadTV. It helps support everything we do at Cheesehead TV. If you can't jump on board, totally understand. Please just hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, then tell your friends, and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Packers.